Welcome everybody, it's Marvel Friday, we're Home Base Games, and we're about to play some Galaxy's Most Wanted.
I'm hooked on a feeling.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if
I'm high on believing. Very excited to play Rocket and Groot.
Yeah.
They're some of my faves. We'll try to limit the horrible Guardians puns to a minimum. I don't know if everybody will appreciate them as much as I do. So.
I can't promise anything.
Yeah, so we are going to get started. We're not going to do too much time on like going through all of the different pieces of the book and stuff like that. I think there's probably places where you can download the book and all of that good stuff for you to take a closer look at another time.
Yeah, we'd also did like we just recorded an unboxing video, so where we just kind of went through the game components and general stuff in the book. No, nothing in great detail, but we just wanted to show at least every card, which we did that.
Yep.
Did just a very simple unboxing. It's a pretty quick video. And
yeah, we'll try and still make sure every card ends up on the Zoom camera.
Yep.
So that way you guys are a little bit more familiar with what's happening as we go. But we are going to start off with the campaign, and we're just going to do standard mode for right now. The reason mostly is because we want to play with the Rocket and Groot heroes as they come out of the pack.
Yeah, we're literally playing with the pre-built decks. So, and if history is true, a lot of the pre-built decks are very underpowered.
Yes.
So we didn't want to. We know the expert campaign is a little more challenging, so we're just gonna try the standard campaign.
Yep.
With the pre-built decks. It's also our first time playing with any of the cards. Patronus has not even really read any of the cards.
Nope.
I have seen a lot of spoilers, so I am familiar with much of it.
Yeah, the way that this campaign works, and I'm not sure if Red Skull is the same, but with the standard campaign mode, you're free to make alterations to your deck as you go. You keep the same heroes that you've picked for the duration of the campaign, but you're allowed to modify your deck in standard mode. In expert mode, you're supposed to keep the same deck throughout the entire campaign, other than alterations made to your deck from some of the cards. So that's one of the other reasons that we're going to go off of standard mode, so that way we can be making modifications to their decks as we go and experiment with Rocket and Groot a little bit and some deck building strategies to go with them. So the campaign book is very similar to the Red Skull book. Once you open it up, it's got keyword references. There's a couple of new keywords in here, which we'll go through as they pop up, as well as a new icon that will show up, and it amplifies boost icons. So again, we'll address that as it shows up, but everything is laid out very nicely here. These are the campaign rules, just these 2 pages, and that's it. Nice and simple. There is a new log, which is at the back of the book here. There's supposed to be a printable version of this as well on FFG's website, so we'll probably go grab that for ourselves, so we're not wrecking our campaign book over here, but pretty standard layout, similar to the Red Skull campaign. The big change here is that we are earning units throughout the course of the campaign, units being the currency that was featured in the Galaxy universe. So units are going to be a way for us to acquire new cards for our decks.
Yeah, each scenario you earn units, and then in between units, spend units, purchase cards from a market deck, which is just 28 cards that you can add to your deck to modify it. If you're playing in the standard mode, it's just an addition. If you're playing in expert mode, it's actually the only way you can modify your deck.
Correct.
So it's kind of cool. This is going to be our first time playing with them, seeing with them. So we're going to play a regular standard campaign.
Yep.
We'll try to earn some units and purchase some cards at the end, and then we'll log our stuff. And we're going to start with the first scenario.
Yep. And these are just the expert rules as well, which we'll skip for now. But it's similar to the previous book. There's this nice, really cool comic pane here to start off our campaign. Which says, Alpha Flight Station in Earth's orbit. Commander, we're under attack by the Badoon. We're sustaining heavy fire. Divert emergency power to the shields. I'm out, says Captain Marvel. There's too many of them. Send the distress signal. Alpha Flight, this is Star-Lord of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're here to help. We better get paid for this, Quill. I am Groot. Those are my terrible impersonations. So we get started facing off the Brotherhood of Badoon, led by Drang. And his flavor text here. The Brotherhood of Badoon has mounted a surprise attack against Earth. You and the other Guardians of the Galaxy rush to Earth's aid, teaming up with the mighty Avengers in the process to beat back the Badoon. However, the Brotherhood of Badoon's leader, Drang, is a skilled tactician with a fleet of powerful ships and an overwhelming number of soldiers at his side. This won't be an easy fight. So the villain's deck is, we're just doing standard, so it's Drang 1 and Drang 2. So we'll just plop these up here really quick, especially Drang 1. Then he has 2 schemes, which we'll get those up here for you as well. And we'll just do the first one, obviously. We'll reveal the second one as we approach it. So the Terrestrial Invasion is Scheme 1A. It tells us the contents of the deck, which we've already pretty much established. We have the Brotherhood of Badoon deck, which is the typical deck, Ship Command, which is one of the encounter sets, as well as the standard encounter set, and we did include Band of Badoon as our other modular set. Put the Badoon ship environment and the Milano support into play. So we've got the Milano support. We don't have the Badoon environment.
Yeah, the Milano support is the first card in Ship Command, and it is a permanent setup card, so it just goes into play, and whoever is the first player starts with this card.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, first player controls the Milano, piloting resource. Exhaust Milano, generate a wild resource for any player. So we'll let Groot be the first player.
Sure. I figured we can just leave this in the middle and we'll just...
I think we just pass it with the first player token.
Okay, that's fine.
Pass it back and forth.
All right. So that is the environment that we're being instructed to put into play. The only other piece of our setup is we're going to be instructed... Let's see, force response after Drang schemes, so that's not going to come up yet. Is there any setup conditions on that environment?
No, this just says charge up special. It just has his ability.
Okay.
So, and his ability is based off him, so it says force response after Drang schemes, resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So that ability will happen every time he schemes.
Okay, got it. So that's going to stay in play. I guess put that over here.
Yeah, kind of like we would do with Ultron.
Yep. And then the other side of this scheme. All right. So we'll have 8 per person. Drang's overwhelming forces have mounted a surprise attack against Earth. So a forced response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, resolve the charge up ability. So it will resolve every round, period. And then the first player action, exhaust the Milano, remove 3 threat from this. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if you don't use the Milano's resource, you could use it to remove threat.
Correct.
And how does this card come into play?
It comes into play as part of our campaign rules. So we have to reveal Badoon Blitz, which is this guy here, and we're doing side A. Looking for where it says side or the other. Expert mode only. Okay, so standard mode only on the top there. So hinder 3. The hinder is one of the new keywords. It essentially just means when revealed, put threat here per person. And then it has a victory counter, which victory cards are actually just set aside in a separate pile. And that's one of the ways in which we can accumulate units for accomplishing. When defeated, each player may draw a card. So that's going to just have 2 threat plus 3 per person. So we're going to have 8. Put this over here. 5. 8.
And that card also had an effect to shuffle something in.
Well, that card didn't. We're just also instructed to shuffle the Badoon Hunter into the encounter deck.
Okay.
The Headhunter, yeah. Okay. We've got the Brotherhood of Badoon, the Band of Badoon, Ship Command, our standard encounter set, as well as the Badoon Headhunter minion, all shuffled into the villain's deck here. And there are no other setup conditions.
Okay. So we'll start with Groot. And Groot, oh, there's a little glare. Let's take it out of the sleeve. Yeah. Glare issue real quick.
Yep.
Oh, not really.
Have it on that side. Better. There you go. All right, so Groot recovers 4. He has a growth spurt action to put 2 counters, growth counters, on Groot. And he can have an up to 10, and you can only obviously do that
once his starting hand size and health?
Starting hand size is 6, and starting health is 10.
Okay, so you're gonna start with 6 cards, and you're gonna start with.
Yep, and why don't you just flip it over for here? So he thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, defends for 3. Laura Colossus. Force interrupt when Groot would take any amount of damage. Remove that many growth counters from him. For each growth counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. Okay, so he doesn't have a choice but to remove.
Yes,
cards.
it's a forced response if he takes damage.
Right, if he takes damage.
So he doesn't really want to take damage. He either wants to. It seems like he wants to defend and prevent as much damage as possible.
Yeah.
Which I could see where protection would make him pretty sweet. He seems like a really good multiplayer character.
Agreed.
Probably not so great in single player.
He'll probably have a hard time with solo play for sure.
All right.
Okay, so Rocket heals for 3, and he has a tinkering action. That makes perfect sense. As an action, choose and discard a tech upgrade you control to draw 2 cards. Limit 1 per round. Nice.
So it's interesting with the tech upgrades, and this is why I was checking the rules before we started. You would have to discard the upgrade with a use counter on it to get that ability.
If all of his tech upgrades have a use keyword on them, and yes.
Yeah, I think most of them do.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
and then
so
flip it over.
Flip it over, and he is...
Yeah, so Rocket has 2 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. Murdered you. Hilarious. After you deal excess damage to an enemy, draw a card.
Yep.
That's very cool. I like it. Seems like someone you're going to enjoy.
Rocket does seem like he's a bit up my alley.
Yep.
And he's beautiful. Look, I love the card art. It looks amazing.
All right.
So you'll start with the Milano since
so
you're going first.
That's fine. I can start with the Milano, and there's no other setup rules or anything here, so we will put this aside and draw up. So 6 cards. And we'll try not to miss any triggers, but it might happen. That always is a risk when you're playing with brand new stuff. Okay, so here's my opening hand here. A Desperate Defense, which seems fine, especially since I'm still trying to keep my growth counters early on. A copy of Lashing Vine. After Groot uses a basic power, remove 2 growth counters from him and exhaust Lashing Vines to a Groot. Okay, cool. Like it. Fighting Fit. Deal 2 damage to the villain, 5 damage instead of your hero's remaining hit points, 2 or greater than your starting hit. Okay? Deft Focus. Exhaust Deft Focus. Reduce the store's cost of the next superpower card you play this turn by 1. Alright? Vine Shield Upgrade. When Groot defends against an attack, remove 1 growth counter from him and exhaust Vine Vine Shield. Groot gets +3 defense for that attack. And I Am Groot. Wording action. Remove threat from a scheme equal to the number of growth Groot. Cool. I honestly don't really know what I want, so I'm probably just going to keep it and play it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously certain cards that might be obviously not good. So
yeah, I mean, I've got some, like, defense things.
So I only have 2 of Rocket's actual cards from signature set. And this first one is Thruster Boots.
Okay. While in hero form, Rocket Raccoon gets +1 fort and gains the aerial trait.
Then I have this card, which I can't pronounce.
Yeah. Schadenfreude? No idea. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm that one, hero action. Until the end of the turn, heal 2 damage from Rocket Raccoon each. Deal any amount of damage to the enemy. Cool. Hey Jay, nice to see you. We're just kind of going through our opening hands here. Oh, we got the team up.
Got
all
the
right.
team up card.
Got the Flora-Fauna team up card. One thing that is nice, which we noticed, is on both sides, on Alter Ego as well as Hero, their names are the same. So unlike, Ant-Man and Wasp and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, like you could always use your team up card at all times, which is actually kind of nice. So their team up plays 2 growth counters on Groot to a maximum of 10 and ready him, or plays 2 charge counters on Rocket Raccoon's upgrade and ready that upgrade. Very nice. Looking for trouble. So this is that new new aggression card that's kind of like Defenders from Thor's signature deck. So discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion, put that minion into play engaged with you, and remove 3 threat from the main. So it's just like Defender, except this specifically says the main scheme only.
It's a little more limited.
Yeah.
But same cost, similar effect.
Okay, and then follow through. Hero interrupt. When your hero's attack deals any amount of excess damage, increase that amount by 1. So I'm assuming if you have overkill, that just lets you do additional excess damage, or maybe he has some other effect of dealing excess damage that he can trigger.
Yep. His whole thing is about overkill and excess damage. And then the last thing we have an upgrade for.
Hand cannon, yep. So that has a use piece on it. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust hand cannon and remove a charge counter from it. Your hero gains +2 attack for that attack, and that attack gains over. There you go. So yeah, we were refreshing ourselves on the rules around cards that put counters on them. So if they have the keyword use on them, like that one did, as soon as you've resolved the last use counter, the card is discarded.
Correct. Okay, so for me, I feel like getting a tech on him seems good because he's all about that. This is an upgrade, this follow through. So each time he does excess, increase the damage. That seems good. Just getting an upgrade on him. So we didn't do this, but you're supposed to start with 2 per player. So this starts with 4 threat.
Oh yes.
So there will be threat. So look.
Yeah, and there's threat over here too. So.
But this cannot remove from there.
Right. Correct.
But this could be helpful to remove from here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, our team up card's good. Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
This will only heal Groot until the end of the turn. Heal 2 damage, and he's fully healthy. So that card's kind of useless. It
heals Rocket.
I'm sorry, it heals Rocket. My apologies. So this card is an automatic mulligan because it's no purpose. While in human form, he gains thwart +1. That's not bad. It's an upgrade, so that's a permanent upgrade. These are all upgrades, so I like upgrades. This card is actually not super great for me. All it would do was put more counters on my hand cannon for 1. So I don't know.
Jay, I hadn't heard about the alleged leaks. He was saying that from Asmodee's Taiwan website, 4 hero box and a big box expansion.
I saw something like that. I don't know if it was an April Fool's prank because it was, I think, revealed yesterday.
Oh, fair enough.
So I don't know. But yeah, the rumor is, and you can confirm if you knew this, Jay, but the rumor is the next 4 packs would be, I believe it was War Machine, Vision, Valkyrie, and who was the 4th one? War Machine, Vision, Valkyrie. I can't remember the fourth one.
Yeah, Jay said the same thing. He's like, could be April Fool's. Yeah.
It could be April Fool's, but I definitely remember seeing it. I have a feeling, to me, and this is just a personal opinion, so don't skewer me. I know everyone wants the X-Men in this game, but I almost feel like they need to do the smart Marvel-like thing like they did with the MCU and just be patient and like continue this. They started with the Avengers.
Yeah.
And now they're moving into the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and it seems like they're doing this whole like, going to start dropping Infinity Stones and build up to something cool.
Right, because this one has the Power Stone in its cards.
The first page of the book tells you that this is all about the struggle for the Power Stone.
Yeah. Groot says this weird plant thing doesn't know where the stone is, but it knows we're not the only ones looking. Welcome to the Galaxy's Most Wanted. The campaign expansion comes with 5 new scenarios that tell the tale of the struggle for the Power Stone, as well as 2 new heroes who protect the galaxy and try to make some extra units while doing so.
Yeah, so I absolutely love the idea of Pax slowly introducing all the stones and then getting to some kind of Infinity War like crazy campaign where it's like epic and then I think the next cycle then after that, like I think that's when they just go hard in on the X-Men or the Fantastic Four, whatever like other like genre of heroes that they want to do.
Yeah, and potentially whatever.
X-Men, honestly.
Yeah, and it might also depend on where the MCU decides to go with their story.
I don't know if it's going to depend on that. We'll see. It could be. It feels like the game. I feel like the game's kind of trying to catch up to where the MCU's been the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that
we'll
could
see.
Also be true.
But I'm definitely going to mulligan Schadenfreude. I'm going to... So the cards I really want to... I want to play the card that gets me threat. I don't know if I really care about the 0-cost card that puts a minion into play and removes threat from the main. Maybe I do care about that. If I do, I could probably blow up the minion pretty good. Yeah, maybe I discard... I think I'm going to discard these 3 cards. Because you can only have so many and hope to get, like, something like that.
You got your double, which is nice.
Yep. All right, so that's going to be my new hand.
Okay.
I've got a plan. Salvage. I love the cards, too. I got a plan.
I've got a plan. I have 12% of a plan. After you make a basic thwart using your actual thwart value, ready, Rocket Raccoon. Rocket gets +1 thwart while in hero form.
Yeah, by the way, Jay, the X-Men are my favorite too, honestly, like because of the 90s X-Men. Like I grew up as a 90s child watching X-Men every Saturday morning. So I'm a huge X-Men fan. That's probably my favorite part of the Marvel universe. But, like, I'm willing to be patient and let them, like, since the MCU, the Avengers has been the MCU for 10 years, I'm willing to give them the time to be like, give us a full MCU Avengers experience in this game. And then, once they've done their thing, then give us the full X-Men experience. I'm totally down with that.
Agreed. Okay.
And then maybe we do X-Men versus Avengers.
It's happened in the comics.
All right, so go ahead and take your turn.
Yep, so the first thing I'm going to do is my action. I'm going to put growth counters, and I think I'm going to try keeping track of them here on my board.
That makes sense.
And we'll see if it works. If it's too much of a pain or I need too many or whatever, we'll sort through it.
We also have the three-sided ones if you get a lot.
Yeah, so we'll see if that works out, but it just might be a little cleaner to try and use these
I think it'll be easier so when you're flipping your card back and forth.
Exactly. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that was my action, my growth spurt action here. So I have nothing else to do on Alter Ego on any of my cards, so I'm just going to flip over. His force interrupt, that's when he takes damage, he has to remove counters. So I'm just going to start playing my cards. Holding on to Desperate Defense is probably not like a requirement. Doing the Fighting Fit seems good because I can do 5 damage right now for a cost of 2.
Yeah, that seems good.
Getting the Deft Focus into play also seems nice because it reduces the cost on all of my superpowers, which I happen to have 3 in my hand. So there's probably a lot of his decks probably are superpower cards.
This is a 1-cost upgrade.
Yeah.
Max 1 per player. Hero action. Exhaust depth focus. Reduce the resource cost of the deck's super. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like
Seems
to get
good.
that in play.
Which is pretty easy.
Yeah. So my I am Groot that removes threat equal to a number of growth counters I have is not super great. I've only got 2. So
Yeah.
that seems like an easy thing to discard. This is his defense vine shield. And this is his lashing vines that lets him ready, but at the cost of having to spend counters. I'm not sure I want to be spending a ton of counters at the moment. So if we discard these 2 to play the Fighting Fit, which is going to deal 5 damage because I'm at my hit points. So 5 damage to the villain. And then we can, I think, just discard the Desperate Defense to get the Deft Focus just into play, which I can tap to get my Vine Shield. So I think that's what we're going to try. And that meant I didn't have to use that to play anything. So I suppose I could exhaust it to remove threat, right? That's what we can do here. As a first player action, exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat from the main. So let's try it.
Okay.
I didn't need the resource. Essentially, you can, as the first player, you can tap this for a resource that's wild, or tap it to remove 3 threat from the main.
Go for it.
That. And I'm out. Oh, not out. I guess I can fort for 1 or attack for 2. Probably just attack for 2.
Yeah, probably.
Or do we want to just work on this? It doesn't have an ongoing effect, but it counts towards our victory file. So
I don't know if thwarting for 1 is probably worth it.
okay, so I'll just attack for 2. Down and add 9.
And it's my turn.
Uh-huh.
So, I've got a couple tech pieces. Obviously, my boots allows me to, while in hero form, Rocket Raccoon gets +1 thwart and gains the aerial trait. And then I also got it paired with, I've got a plan. After you make a basic thwart using your thwart ready Rocket Raccoon, get +1 thwart while in hero form until the end of the phase. So, I literally could. Oh, it's hilarious. This art shows like Rocket giving Star-Lord a robotic arm. So I wonder if that's directly from the comics.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Great.
Okay, so I could play those, but that would cost me 2 cards to do that. Mm-hmm. Which would be okay. I have an upgrade here, Rocket's Pistol. It's restricted with 3 counters, hero action attack, exhaust his pistol, remove 1 charge counter, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Okay. And Flora and Fauna, and then I got the other cannon. So this cannon gets +2. And this is remove 1 charge to deal 2. So this is just straight better than the cannon, so that's interesting. Okay. Alright. So I don't think I have anything to do on Alter Ego. Choose and discard a tech upgrade you control. Oh, interesting. I wonder if...
Just draw cards, right? Choose and discard a tech upgrade you control, draw 2 cards.
Yep. And all of these are hero actions, so you would have to really have your stuff depleted. Mm-hmm. So I think we're just flipping.
Yep.
Purpose here. And it feels weird to... I've got a double resource and only 1 double resource card, so I'm wondering if I play it. Yeah, maybe I do that.
Seems fine.
So let's discard Rocket's Pistol. And we are going to play the... So we're discarding this card. And we're going to play Thruster Boots to give Rocket some thwart power.
Okay.
is just an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to use salvage because it has double resources. So this one gives you a wild and science. And it has an ability that says I can actually put a tech upgrade from your discard pile on top of your deck. So the one I just discarded, I can put on top of my deck.
Okay.
And we're going to use that to put the hand cannon into play.
Yep.
This has 3 use counters on it.
All right. Those.
Okay. And then I have 2 more cards. So I could either play my Flora and Fauna, or I could play my I've Got a Plan. But if we want to thwart a bunch, which might not be a bad time to thwart a bunch because we're not under any pressure.
Yeah.
So maybe I just discard the Flora and Fauna to play I've Got a Plan.
Okay. Which does what?
Oh, I have to wait to do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thwart.
Okay.
I'm going to thwart for 3.
Okay.
Against that thing.
Yeah.
Because my base is 2, and then this says, well, in hero form, Rocket Raccoon gets +1 thwart and gains the aerial trait. So
okay.
thwarting for 3.
Yep, thwarting for 3.
Then I can discard this Flora and Fauna to play I've Got a Plan, which is a hero response. And it basically says after you make a basic...
Yeah, after you make a basic thwart using your thwart power, which I don't know how else you would make a basic, but maybe it's just clarifying that that's what basic is. Ready Rocket Raccoon. Rocket gets +1 thwart while in hero form until the end of the phase. So he can thwart for 4 right now?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Guess I should have thwarted for 1.
No. I mean, it's fine for it to hang out in a turn.
Yeah. It doesn't have a drawback. It just...
Yep. And then I can now still use this. Oh, no. I cannot use the hand cannon. So.
Do you have to do a basic attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the difference between the hand cannon and the other card, which we put on top of the library. This just does damage.
Okay.
But that's fine. I can play it next turn.
All right. So that's it for us. So ready up. And on this side, he has 5 cards.
Me as well. So these are standard hero size hands.
So here's the Groot cards that I've drawn. Tingling Vines, Dauntless, Fruition, I Am Groot, and Deft Focus again.
Yeah, and I got the pistol that I put on top of Rocket's deck with salvage. Your good old classic but goodie Chase Him Down, which there might be some minions that we'll need for that.
Yep.
The new ally, Bug.
Cool.
And then I've got, I'm assuming these are meant to be Star-Lord's rocket boots.
Yeah, booster boots. Yeah, I mean, they look like it.
And then I've got, I love this. This is his signature card, Reload.
About right.
Seems good.
Ready all your tech?
Yeah,
cool
it's
beans.
ready each tech upgrade. So
yeah,
not super good now with only 1 tech, but...
Well, 2. This is tech 2.
Yeah, but this is never exhausted.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is put threat on here.
Yeah, and it's 2 per player, so it's 4. Ouch. Okay.
And then it has a forced response.
Yep. Forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase,
which
resolve Badoon's ship charge up ability.
Okay, so the charge up on the ship, once again, place 1 barrage counter here. Then, if there are at least 4 or more barrage counters, deal 2 indirect damage to each player and remove all barrage counters here. Okay, so it's nice to know that if it ever gets in excess, which there might be some cards from his encounter deck that put additional counters here, that you just remove all of them. You know, unlike, I think it's maybe Zola or Absorbing Man, when you're putting counters, like you're only ever removing 3 at a time. Yeah. As an example. So in this one, you're actually just straight up remove them all. So we put 1 counter here.
And then when it gets a certain amount,
when it gets to 4,
yeah,
it hits everybody for 2 indirect damage.
And then that's it. So then we are going to
have him attack me.
Yep.
Yep. He attacks base 2, and what's his force response?
Force response after Drang schemes.
Okay. So when he
resolve
schemes,
his ship.
Sure. Okay.
So he's just attacking you.
Yep. So he's just attacking me for base 2, and I feel like Groot just wants to defend a lot initially, so he can actually accumulate some growth counters and do his thing.
I feel like that too. When Groot defends against an attack, remove 1 growth counter from him and exhaust Mind Shield. It gets +3 defense.
Yeah, so that increases his defense.
But if you defend, you'll hold on to your counters.
Right.
So I think you want to defend.
I agree. I think initially you just want to defend and try to build up some of these tokens
and then you
to trigger.
Hit hard. Yeah, I think
right,
that's
to
how it
trigger
works.
your things. All right, so I'm going to defend against the attack. So it's base 2 and a star down. So it's just going to be the 2 damage. The boost will resolve first. Resolve the charge up ability on the ship.
Okay.
All right, so we're putting another counter here.
And then his attack is.
And then his attack is just 2.
So you're not.
So I don't take any damage, which means I don't have to remove any tokens, growth tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And he's attacking you now.
Attacking me. Okay, so my defense is a whopping 1. And I don't have anything for this. So I think I'm just base rolling it.
Okay. I don't think I disagree with that. So it's base 2, just 1.
All right, so I'm taking
So 3.
Okay.
All right. Then bad cards.
Yep.
My bad card is Assault. Getting attacked again.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, it is. So, question is, so I guess because this is just a straight up resource, I think you could use it during the villain phase, right?
Resource. Exhaust this. Yeah.
So just to think that that's an option potentially if I need it, which I don't think any of these are, none of these would be effects that I could use, but like Desperate Defense as an example, if this was still in my hand, I could have exhausted that to play this.
Defense. When your hero defends against it, you're not defending, so you wouldn't be able to.
Well, fair enough. You're correct. But as an example, like if I wanted to have used that, I could have used.
If there was a card that let you play it, you could use this resource. But I think you're just kind of stuck.
I think I am just stuck.
Lose some growth counters.
Yep. And his Vine Shield also says when he defends against an attack, which he's not defending. So I don't think he could use this.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
I don't think.
Hero interrupt when Groot defends, so I think he would actually have to be defending.
It doesn't say defense like it normally does.
Right, because this is hero interrupt defense, which means you would play this when you're the target of an attack.
Okay.
But then the card text says when your hero defends against an attack, it gets plus. So this one, you play it when you're the target, but you only get the +2 if you are defending.
Right.
I believe that's how that works.
I think you're right. So I have no choice but to just lose all my growth counters right now, essentially. So
Jay, the villain, I apologize, we'll put it up on screen. The villain we're playing is Drang, Brotherhood of Badoon. I have no clue. He's a green lizard-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a deep cut, I think.
Let her do her thing, and then we'll...
Yeah. So the boost I'm doing here, if this activation is an attack, this card gets +2 boost icons for this activation. Ugh. Just taking 4.
Oh, you're going to get 2 prevented because of your growth counters.
Right, but still.
So you're going to take 2.
All right, so I lose my growth counters because when Groot would take any amount of damage, remove that many growth counters from him. For each growth counter removed, prevent 1 damage. So I'm going to lose my 2 growth counters and take 2 damage. And then this is the villain that we're fighting.
So I don't know anything about.
I think it's a pretty deep cut because I was Googling pictures of him to try for like my future thumbnails for YouTube, and literally could find like a singular reference or picture of him, and it was
straight
ancient.
comics. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean it was just like an ancient looking comic picture. So I think it's a relatively deep cut, but that's fine.
It's something.
Doesn't bother
for
me.
the diehard fans.
Yeah.
All right. Oh Bummer. Enjoy your obligation.
Oh, man. Bad face. All right, so I can choose to flip to Alter Ego, which I'll probably do, because then I can get more growth counters.
Yep.
And then remove 3 growth counters from Groot. If no growth counters were just removed this way, this card gains Surge.
Yep.
Of course.
Getting another card. Which is an Assault.
So is that yours or is that mine?
It would be yours.
Right? Because you have to give this card to me.
Right. And then you would draw the card for Surge.
Right?
I believe so.
I think so.
So it's an Assault, which would be another Surge.
Which is another Surge.
And then now we have this.
Okay, Bombardment. After resolving step 1 in the villain phase, resolve the charge up on the ship. Okay. And then this is the same. You can exhaust the Milano to remove threat from here. This is going to have 6. So maybe
this is a side
put it
scheme,
down
so
here.
put it down here.
Yeah, I think
3 per player. So
I think using both of these areas on either side of the villain for side schemes
perfect.
Helpful. So okay, trying to figure out good layouts with our new overhead.
So yeah, we switched. We switched to an overhead camera, so you have like a better straight down view of all the cards. The only downside is we've
lost some play area.
We've lost some play area because we're more zoomed in.
Yeah.
So you can hopefully see the cards a little better.
Yep.
And if you don't like that, let us know.
Yep.
All right, so that's everything.
That is everything. So first player passes to you.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. And then it's my turn. So there's no minions in play. So that's not super helpful. Okay. So then, since that's the case, we're gonna discard Chase Them Down because I'm nothing to chase down. So we're gonna discard that for 1. And I think we're going to play Rocket's Pistol, which is just another gun. And this bad boy restricted. I think you can only have 2 restricted cards.
Double check that.
I'm almost positive.
That sounds right.
Because Thor starts with 1, so I'm pretty sure it's just 2.
Yep, 2 restricted cards in play at any given time.
Enters play with 3 charge counters. And hero action: exhaust Rocket's Pistol and remove 1 deal 2 damage to an enemy. So that's cool.
It is worth noting with restricted as well, if you play a 3rd restricted card, you can choose to discard 1.
Sure.
So you're not prevented from playing a 3rd one. You just cannot have. You would just be forced to discard.
Okay. And then I have to decide what to play here. So I could just like pound a bunch of damage into him.
True.
This thing has a bunch of threat.
Getting rid of this seems nice. I just don't know if we can get there.
I could thwart for a maximum of 4 potentially. Is the most I could thwart for.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, what does this thing do? Oh, it puts another counter.
It's gonna put another counter on the Badoo. So this is gonna go off next turn.
If we don't get rid of it.
If we don't get rid of it.
Unfortunately, I don't see a way to get rid of it. Because the most I can do is thwart for 2, plus 1 is 3.
Yeah.
I have an ally in my hand I could play who could thwart for 1, which would be a total of 4.
Yeah.
You don't have a way to thwart for 2, so there's no point in even like working super hard to get rid of this.
I mean, you could tap this to remove 3.
Nope. This only removes 3 threat.
This here says exhaust.
Oh, exhaust them alone, remove 3 threat from this scheme.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I could do that.
If you don't need the resource. So I guess figure out.
So I could do that, which 3 would knock this down to 3.
Yeah.
So let's do that. I can forego the resource. And then I can use a basic thwart action.
Yeah, to thwart for 3.
Thwart for 3. We'll get rid of this card.
Yep.
So go here. So I like that. And then that makes my turn decision much easier.
Are you able to do the cute thing of readying, or was that a specific card that you played last turn that let you ready?
My hero?
Yeah.
That was a card.
Okay.
I've got a plan.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
I've got a plan.
Yep.
So, so the other thing I could do here is, I I could use both of my cards just to play an ally, which
doesn't seem horrible for you because I feel like until I can build up some growth counters, it's going to be hard for me to defend for you.
And I can't defend at all right now, so I think
I have no allies.
The other option is I have this tech that I can put in, and when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, you can exhaust this, discard the template, but it only prevents 1 damage.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to just use up my cards. I'm going to discard reload, because I can't even use this anyways, so I'm not going to get much value out of it. And then the boots are sweet to be able to prevent damage, but there's 3 copies in this deck, and honestly, like, preventing 1 does not seem that big of a deal. So I'm discarding both. I'm going to play this new ally, Bug. And he's probably not even going to be that good because I just want him to die. So I'm just going to use him.
Thwart for 1?
Thwart for 1.
Yeah, because then we can pull this off, which gets put into our victory pile.
Yep.
And when defeated, each player may draw 1 card.
Oh, okay.
So I'll take it. And this goes in our victory pile, so that's a separate pile.
And I can't do anything other than Rocket's Pistols, which is just simply exhaust Rocket's Pistol, remove 1 charge counter from it, and deal 2 damage to an enemy. So I'll just deal 2 damage to the boss. So.
Yep.
And then I am out on my turn. I can't do anything else because I can't make a basic attack. I drew Looking for Trouble, which I would be looking for trouble if I played this now.
Right.
So I'm just going to hold on to it.
Which you can maybe drop that on there just to remind everybody. That's essentially like the defender, but for the main scheme only.
I love that it's Drax on there, like, bring it on.
Knife. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree. I would not use that right now.
Yeah, I feel like this Drang guy, when we were watching the Silver Surfer television series on Disney Plus.
Oh, you might be right.
I think it was that dude that was on there.
You might be right.
Pretty sure.
Because that is ringing a bell for me right now.
It wasn't a very good series.
No, it was pretty bad.
but I think it was probably still pretty, like, deep.
Like, compared to the Spider-Man or the Batman or, like, the Superman.
Or X-Men,
or X-Men. Like,
but we watched it
cartoons.
only because we didn't know anything really about Silver Surfer.
Correct.
And we were like, all the other cartoons are good.
Yeah, and it was a relatively short series.
It was very mediocre.
Yeah, it was a short series for a reason. It was very meh. Okay, so you're done.
I'm done.
Question, do you have, it seems like obviously you have lots of cards that are tech. Do you have cards that are superpowers?
None.
Okay.
So I'll show you Bug's thing. Bug's thing is kind of cool. He can heal a damage every time your hero uses a basic action.
Right.
So right now he has 1 health. So what I could have done is I could have played him first.
Activated him,
dealt him a damage, then used a basic thwart with Rocket to remove it.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I'm at 6 health. I just kind of want him to
absorb an attack.
Take an attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I can't count on any other way to defend. So that's what I'm doing.
So it's interesting that there's the 3 copies of this Deft Focus in Groot's basic deck.
It's only
because it's 1 per player.
It's the same as my boots.
Okay.
So they gave you, like, when they built the pre-constructed deck, they introduced those 3 cards, so they put 3 copies in it.
Sure.
So, like, basically, like, you could give 1 to me. Can you play it under any player's control?
Yeah.
Play if your identity is the
I mean, mine just says max 1 per player.
I don't think you can do this because it doesn't say play under any other player's control.
Really?
Yeah, play only if your identity. So, yeah, literally 2 copies are just dead.
Yeah,
they're just
for sure.
resources anytime you draw them.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Like combat training says play under any player's control.
Yeah, it
does. If it doesn't say that, I don't think you can.
Okay. So while I'm on my alter ego side, I am going to action to get 2 growth counters.
Yep.
Then I'm going to flip. I'm going to do Fruition, which is just a 0-cost event to get 2 more growth counters.
That's a great card for him.
Yeah. It's actually cool because you can play it on either side. You can play it. It's not a hero action.
Awesome.
So if there's effects, that affect your alter ego growth counters. So that's 0. Then we can tap this Deft Focus to get my Entangling Roots upgrade into play, which is a thwarting upgrade, essentially. I remove thwart growth counters to thwart more.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna discard these 2 deft focuses to play I am Groot.
Oh, what does that do?
Deal damage to an enemy equal to the number of growth counters on Groot.
Oh, so 2 to deal 4.
2 to deal 4.
Okay, cool.
It's not bad.
Well, that's not a better ratio.
So,
Not great, but...
Not great, but, I mean, obviously, certainly could be a lot better, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do 2 to deal 10.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'll hold on to this Dauntless, although I'm honestly not sure that I'm going to be able to get a ton. But you have to have maximum health to get the Retaliate. So... I mean, it might come into play a little later, but...
Yeah, only reason I'm holding on to looking for trouble is we might accumulate some threat here.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, who knows? I honestly don't know that I even want this. I think I'd rather just discard it and get a fresh...
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to mine because it's a 0 card. I don't know if I'll need it next turn, and if I do, I will just use it as a reason if I don't.
Okay, so my new 5... A Desperate Defense, Fighting Fit, Strength, Fighting Fit, and Starhawk. Cool.
Groot seems like he would highly benefit from playing like med teams in his deck, so he can heal.
I agree.
Maybe. I don't know. That could be wrong. All right, so I have Groot's Relentless Assault here. Then
by Groot you mean Rocket.
I'm sorry, Rocket. Cybernetic Skeleton. Another copy of Booster Boots. And another copy of Hand Cannon, which is restricted, and I already have one in play. So most of these cards are going to be pitched. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so step 1 is putting 4 threat on there.
Yes.
Super person.
Then a counter on that thing.
Yep, then we put a counter here. Wrong counter.
Why?
Because you put a 3.
I was going to replace the 2 with the 3.
Oh, well, that's fine. Yes. So that's not at 4, so it's not going to go off yet. And that's that. So he's attacking you.
Yep, and I'm going to defend with Bug.
Sure. So base 2. 2.
Okay, so that's 4 damage. Bug is dead.
Then he is attacking me, and I think I still just want to defend. So base 2.
And yeah, and then
cards. So that's just a bust 1, so 3. So I take no damage.
Okay.
Then bad cards.
You didn't want to play the Desperate Defense just to ready yourself?
I mean...
I'm just asking only because if you get attacked again, you won't be able to defend and you'll lose growth counters.
I guess that's fair.
I don't know if that's correct.
I'm not really going to do a lot on my turn anyway. These Fighting Fits are 2 to deal 2, so they're pretty mediocre.
We don't really need this.
I can...
No, I
first player.
Exhaust this will generate a resource for any player. So I can exhaust this, give you a resource to play that card.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Not a big deal. And then, yes, I would, by taking no damage, I would ready.
So she was going to play that.
I didn't honestly realize that it readies me.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the card.
Take no damage. I thought it was just +2 defense.
All right. So my card's first. All right, I finally got a minion. A Badoon Engineer.
All right. Okay. Force response after he engages you or activates against you. Resolve the Badoon ship charge up. Ugh. So he's engaging you, so we have to charge up.
Yeah.
Which means we get to 4. Which means it's going to activate.
Yep.
Going to deal 2 indirect damage to each all of its counters.
Yep. And I don't think you can do anything about that.
Nope.
So you're just going to lose 2 more counters.
Oh, that's right, 2 growth counters. Yep.
Because I believe anytime you take damage.
You are correct. That is a true statement.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got a minion in play. Mine. Oh, I also am going to get a minion. Badoon Sentry. Retaliate 1. I'm not resolving the boost part, so it's just a dude.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So pass that over here.
Yep.
And I mean, we're just gonna play Starhawk for 2. He takes damage exactly equal to his remaining hit points. I can. And so this guy has retaliate, so I really don't want him to attack him.
No.
I don't have a thing to boost my attack, only boost support. And it would require me to remove growth counter, so I don't know that I really want to do it anyway. I suppose I just basic attack.
Something for 2.
Something for 2. Probably just the villain, because you could just relentless assault this guy.
I can. And you won't get retaliated.
And then, yeah, and then I won't get retaliated, which will remove my growth.
Yep.
So I think I just basic attack the boss Drang for 2. And have Starhawk just
4 for 1.
4 for 1. I think that's fine. Off of there. And that's all I got.
Okay. So my turn. So I definitely don't care about this looking for trouble or hand cannon. So I think I'm easily just going to discard both of these cards. So looking for trouble, I don't really need another minion. I've got one in play.
Yeah.
And the threat's not that big of a deal. And then the hand cannon, I've already got one in play. And I can only have 2 restricted cards. And I already have 2. So discard both of those. And I think I'm going to play my... we decided that I'm going to play this Relentless Assault. So, and I did use a fist, actually 2 fists. Although that doesn't really seem to matter a whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it just matters if you're going to deal with your guy as opposed to the guy.
Probably going to just deal with both. So,
okay.
I think I'll
so you want to do the max here?
Just kill 5 and I take 1 from Retaliate.
Correct.
Oh no, it's dead, so I don't take Retaliate.
Oh, relevant.
Fair enough.
Correct. Yeah.
And then I could either use the Milano to get this upgrade in play, which would give me +1 attack and +3 hit points.
Oh.
And then we wouldn't be removing threat.
Yeah, but I think that's okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of that.
I think that's worth it just to give you +3 hit points right now.
Yep.
I mean, that's basically a heal, a free heal.
Essentially. And then I could then attack. Actually, it's kind of cool. I could use this upgrade. Deal 2 damage to this guy.
Okay.
And then I could use a basic attack.
Yep.
And when I do use a basic attack, I can exhaust this, which says, when your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust hand cannon. Remove 1 charge counter from it. Your hero gets +2 attack and overkill for this attack. So he's going to get +2.
Yep. So he's already 2 because of this.
Yep. So that's 4.
2.
So he's doing 4. He only has 1 health left, so he's going to take 1, and 3 will carry over to the boss.
And you dealt excess damage, so you draw a card.
And murdered.
Yeah.
So after you deal excess damage to an enemy, draw a card.
Dealing 3 damage at the boss, right? So
yep. Which the drawing a card isn't super useful. I guess what I should have done. So what I should have done, and this is where the mistake is, I should have played this in a different order.
Fine.
What I should have done, just so you're aware, these were the cards in my hand. I should have not played the Relentless Assault first. I should have played this first. Made my attack to this guy.
Sure.
Overkill the guy, draw the card. Then I didn't need the resource from the Milano because I have 1 card in my hand. I would have had an extra resource, and I could have just played the rest of my hand, and then we could have used the Milano to remove.
All right, fair fair enough.
But I didn't do that, so I'm not going to. But
no,
that's what I should, because I forgot about the murder ability.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Yeah, this is Jay. That's the protection ally again. See what his is. Our hawk.
Yep, and I'm not going to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to flip. Oh, this guy's dead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to flip because.
I mean, you don't need to. Well.
Yeah, and well, I'm still 3 points shy of full.
Fair.
But I'm just not going to flip because of threat.
Yep. I'm going to discard this Fighting Fit because paying 2 to deal 2 is very mediocre to me. So I'm going to get rid of that for now.
And I'm just going to ready up here. And I'm going to hold on to Genius, obviously. Sweet. I got a rocket launcher. Just feels good to say.
Sounds great.
Another hand cannon. Oh, another one of Rocket's pistols. And another Relentless Assault. Okay, so that's my hand.
Mine is an energy, Root Stomp, Genius, Root Stomp, and I am Groot. Well, guess we'll Root Stomp some next turn.
Awesome. Murdered You is not limited. So, like, if you overkill multiple targets, you draw a card for each one you overkill. It's not like once per turn.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, so first thing is threat. So drop 4 on there.
Yeah. Howza.
Yep. We'll thwart some next turn.
Well, we could lose it.
I mean, that doesn't seem... we'd have to get another 4 on there, so, I mean, it's possible.
That's possible.
He only schemes for 1, so it's possible, just not highly likely unless we double advanced or something. Charge counter. And he is attacking me first. And I think I just want to defend. Okay. So base 2 and a 0. No damage.
All right.
He's attacking you. Base 2.
Do you get a bonus for defending on any of this stuff? What does all this stuff do? When Groot defends against an attack, remove 1 growth counter. He gets +3. That's worthless.
Yes.
When Groot makes a basic thwart, remove 1 growth. Okay.
Yeah. I remove growth counters to get bonuses on stuff.
But we need ways for you to get
growth counters, which my Root Stomps will do that actually.
The protection ally.
I already showed him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're just behind. No biggie. Okay, so he attacked me, so he's attacking you.
Yep, and I only have 1 hit point, so there's, again...
1 defense.
1 defense, so it doesn't really seem like worth defending, so I'll just take whatever he does.
Okay, base 2. 0.
Alright, so taking 2. 1, 2, and we got rid of that terrible card.
Yep. Bad card, bad card. My bad card, is an advance. Alright, there you go.
Double advance.
Yeah.
Just not in that way. So he's scheming for...
Base 1. 1. So just 2.
Okay. Up another 3 on here.
And your bad card. An assassin.
Badoon.
1 health. Interesting. After he engages your hero, it attacks you with +2 attack.
Ouch.
So he's basically quick strike base 3. I could have Starhawk block it for you. He wouldn't get returned to my hand, which would be, nicer. But
nah, that's fine. I'll just take it. So it's the last card. He's hitting me for 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just means I have to flip.
That's okay.
Yep.
All right.
Alrighty, that's that. Right. So pass button.
And it's my turn.
It is.
Okay. So I don't have a lot to do. All right. So that's fine. I obviously want to get this hand cannon in play. It's restricted, but that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Rocket's pistol, lose the last counter, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and we're going to do 2 damage to the boss.
All right.
Then we're going to discard Genius.
I think everybody knows what Genius is.
We're going to discard a copy of Hand Cannon, because we already have one in play. And we're going to play Rocket Launcher. Oh boy.
Seems like something you'd like. All right, so another restricted thing. It comes with 2 charge counters. Exhaust the rocket launcher and remove a counter. Choose a player. Deal 2 damage to the villain and each that player. Cool. That does not have the use keyword on it, though. So that one would stay in play even after you've used the counters.
Okay, so that's a good target to get tinkered.
Uh-huh, correct.
I just play with 2 charge counters on it. Interesting.
And did you have a way of readying your tech?
Hold on. This card doesn't go away. Restricted. Enters play with 3 charge counters on it.
And you just remove charge counters? It doesn't have
the use on it.
Yep, so then that's in play as well. But it's restricted, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
So you could just choose to discard it.
I'm just going to choose to discard it when I play this instead.
Correct. Yep.
Because I need something to play.
Correct. Yep.
All right.
Did you have a card that let you ready your tech, or was that a special card that you already discarded?
It was a card I discarded a while ago. So what I'm going to do instead then is I really want to kill this guy, but if I do... So I'm the first player.
I was going to say, you could use that.
I'm just going to use the Milano to get rid of this.
Well, I was going to say, you could use that.
No, it's fine. Okay. I'm going to use the Milano to remove 3 threat because we're pretty high.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to exhaust rocket launcher, remove 1 counter, choose a player, deal 2 damage to the villain in each.
So you could just exhaust that to deal 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Which
I could.
Just kills the guy, so I mean there's that.
But then I wouldn't get overkill to draw a card.
You just have to deal excess damage. You don't have to do overkill, which that counts as excess damage. Right?
Yeah, it does count as excess damage. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
So we'll exhaust this.
Remove a counter.
Remove a counter.
2.
Kill this guy.
Kill that guy.
1 excess damage.
Yep.
Which will trigger this to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that changes things, maybe.
Got a plan now.
Got a plan.
Yeah.
So what I want to do then is I'm going to discard this Relentless Assault. To play, I've got a plan.
Well, don't you thwart first?
No, I'm not doing that yet. Yep. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thwart for 3.
Yep.
So remove 3 off here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to discard Relentless Assault. To play, I've got a plan.
Yep.
Which will allow me to ready Rocket.
Yep. And you have +1 thwart for the round.
And I have +1 thwart, so I could thwart for 4.
Yep. Or you could flip it.
Or I could also... I'm still going to flip, but I could also... yeah, do I want to heal twice is the question.
Yeah.
And I think the answer is probably yes.
He only schemes for base 1.
Yep, so I'm going to flip.
So I think that's... especially since you only recover for 3.
Yep. And then I'm going to heal for 3.
Yep.
And I wish I had something to tinker away, but I don't know if it's worth tinkering him away when you you don't use all the counters. So there won't be any tinkering action. That's it. I got 1 card in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm done.
So you're done. So I'm going to do some root stomping. So I'm going to discard an energy for a root stomp, which is deal 5 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats the enemy, put a growth counter on Groot. Which it's not... Oh, it will defeat him, I guess, right? Deal 5 to an enemy if it defeats him, which... Yeah. So we'll push him into side number 2. That'll give me a growth counter. So once he gets to side 2, his health pool is 14 per person, so if you want to set that up, 28. When revealed, if Drang's Spear is in play, give Drang a face-down boost card. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Drang's Spear and reveal it. Still has the same after he schemes charge up. So Drang's spear. Not in here. It's gotta be in the discard pile.
Drang's spear?
Yep.
Not here. Where do you get Drang? What is Drang's spear?
It says here. It's Drang's spear.
Side 2.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. I was not looking for the name down there. So, attached to Drang, Drang gains Stalwart, which means it cannot be stunned or confused. One of the new status conditions. As a hero, you can spend a mental and 2 fist resources to card the card. Which that kind of works with Rocket, because his salvage is a mental and wild. Yeah. So that kind of works with him.
All right, so...
Okay, so that's happening. It's still my turn. So I am... I think we still just root stomp again. It's just going to deal 5. I'm not going to get the additional growth counter. So just do 5. Now, I could have him attack, return him to my hand, and then use him and my deft focus to play I Am Groot and deal the boss 3. I just don't know if it's better to just keep him in play to potentially absorb an attack. What do you think?
I mean, I would rather use him and pull him back to my hand to play him again, you know what I mean?
Right, which I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. I would just use him and put him back to my hand and then play him next to something.
Well, then I can just thwart with him for...
Sure.
Because then... And then next turn I could thwart for 1 and return him.
Yep.
Because he attacks with 2 consequential and then thwarts for 1. So you can just thwart for 1. And I suppose I'll just hold on to the I Am Groot that can deal damage equal to... We'll be able to get extras. Maybe I'll get a fruition or something.
Okay.
Okay, that is that. So readying. So my hand is still the I Am Groot.
Yeah, I'm going to discard this restricted card because I've already got some in play.
Vine Spikes. Root Stomp. And Power of Protection. My hand.
Okay, so I've got a battery pack. Into the Fray. Strength. Salvage. And follow through.
Got it. First thing is threat. So we got to drop 4 on there.
All right. So first thing is threat. Dropping 4.
Yep. All right. We might lose it this round, but c'est la vie. So he's going to charge up.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to scheme against you. So base 2. Plus 2, 4.
So 4 will be a... Throw another 5 on here.
Away. And when he schemes, we have to charge up.
Yep.
So this gets a counter.
Yep.
Then he's attacking me, and he's base 4 right now. So I don't have any defensive tricks other than removing a growth counter.
Yeah, you would remove a growth counter to get plus 3 defense.
Yeah. So...
Or you could just...
block with this guy and have him not go back to my hand.
Or you could just block for 3, and if he rolls a 6... Oh, no, his base is 4.
His base is 4 right now.
Yeah, so there's almost no chance. I still think it's probably better just to remove a growth counter, take no damage.
Potentially, yeah. So defending.
I guess so.
So base 4. Boost. Put the Badoon Grunt into play. Engaged with me. So it's just 4.
You're removing this and exhausting this, right?
Well, no, I'm just removing 6 of 1.
No, it's not, because if you boost your defense to 6, you are losing a counter no matter what, because his base was 4 and your defense was 3. So if you're going to do that, you might as well lose 1 counter no matter what, have a base defense of 6, because if you would have rolled a card that was like +2 or +3, you would have taken over damage and lost more tokens.
But it's when you defend.
Right, you were defending.
But so you have to choose to use the counter immediately?
Yes. Yes. This card, Hero Interrupt.
I thought you could see the card.
When Groot defends against an attack, remove 1 growth counter from him. Exhaust, defend, shield.
So I guess the question is...
I guess you could have waited to see the card.
Yeah, I think you can wait to see the card, which this is, it's 6, like, he's dealing 4 damage, so I have to remove a counter because it's 4.
Right.
If it was more than that, I could have exhausted this and still just did the 1. And I think you could see the card. I don't think you have to make that choice first.
Yeah, it says interrupt, so I'm assuming. I don't know. I think the hero interrupt is when he defends, so I don't think you get to see the card. I'm not really sure. I think the safe play is just to...
Yeah, I mean, I obviously would have needed 1 regardless.
Yeah, so I say the safe play is just to play it like that until we know.
Okay, that's fine. I just assumed I could flip the card and see what it was.
I don't know.
All right, so then this guy is going to attack me now for 2, and I'm just taking it. Oh, but then I have to lose go. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Other than losing Starhawk.
It's a quick strike thing?
He came into play as a boost from his attack. So yes, now he's resolving.
Yep.
And hitting me for 2.
Yep.
So, it is what it is.
Yeah, Groot's been a struggle to get any counters on him.
Yeah.
You haven't taken any damage.
Right.
He just tanks for days, but you struggled to get those counters going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
He seems like he needs to be in a multiplayer... This is a multiplayer
I mean,
game.
it is, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely struggling to keep counters on him.
Well, these decks are ridiculously ally light.
Yes, they are.
There's so far I've gotten 1 ally.
Yeah.
And the only other ally I think in the deck can't play.
Yes.
So I think there's only 1 ally in the whole deck.
Yeah.
Which is gonna make this incredibly hard.
Correct.
Out of the box.
Yes, that is true. Yep. All right, so that was that. So bad cards. Bad card for you, bad card for me.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a Badoon Assassin, which is force response after the assassin engages your hero, it attacks you with +2 attack. But you're not a hero.
Yeah.
So
correct. So it's the same one you had before.
Yep. So it's just coming in.
All right, and mine is a side scheme. Hinder 3. First player action, exhaust on Milano to remove the threat from that one. Okay, so it starts with 1, and then it's hinder 3, so it's gonna have a total of 7 on it.
Okay. Which I could probably like. I can move a ton of threat next turn.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Okay, that is that. So pass this over here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I'm going to do is have Starhawk thwart for 1. Would you like him to thwart 1 here? Or just do the main because we're 1 away from flip?
No, I'm going to be able to thwart for like 5 or 6 next turn. So this turn. So
okay.
I think you could thwart it off the side. It's fine.
Okay, so thwarting 1 from here. Then that will kill him because it'll be exactly 3, which means he actually is just going to come right back to my hand because he took exactly the same amount of damage as needed for his health.
Yep.
Which I have a power of protection in my hand, so I'm just going to replay him.
Sweet.
And forward again. That. I am going to I guess we'll use the deft focus to get my vine spikes in play, which is my upgrade that improves my attack. That. Then, I could get rid of this if I use the Milano. I just didn't have any mental resources.
I think I can get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just get rid of it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry about it. I'd rather use the Milano remove threat from the main scheme.
Or we can remove it from here.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Oh.
This said you can use it.
Well, the question is, do we want to lose this or not?
I mean, probably not.
So then, if that's the case, yeah. So I guess you just gotta decide if we're losing this or not. So, it is.
Well, I mean, we're both gonna be on hero side,
It's
right?
a hero action, so why don't we just wait until I take my turn to use?
That's fine. Okay. Then, if I don't need to discard these cards into this, I can take care of it. I can just do a root stomp.
What does it do?
It's just 5 damage. If it defeats them, I get a growth counter.
Okay.
So I could just overkill one of these minions, unless you want to do that. I don't know if that's helpful to you.
I was going to kill one of my minions.
Okay.
I was going to.
You could rocket launcher on me, which would kill this thing.
Yep. Or I could rocket launcher this one, which would then kill it. It would murder it. I'd get a card. It would do 2 to him, and then I could kill your guy, and then the extra from your guy I could use to threat.
Sure. That's fine. So I'll just do the 5 at the boss then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll knock this down, and then just add 5.
3.
Okay.
Then I'm done.
All right. So it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cannon, exhaust rocket launcher, remove 1 charge. Oh, I'm sorry. We're on alter ego first.
Not yet.
Alter ego first.
Yep.
So alter ego is going to recover 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Then we're going to flip over. Rocket launcher. Exhaust rocket launcher and remove 1 charge counter. Choose a player. Deal 2 damage to each villain and each minion engaged with that player. So I'll do 2 here, which will trigger Murdered You to draw a card. And then I'm going to spend, as a hero action, spend Strength. And we're going to spend Follow Through. So that would be 2 red and a science, and we'll get rid of this card. Hero action, spend that. Card's gone. Then we're going to play Salvage. So this is also another double resource card. Science and Wild. And we're going to discard a copy of Into the Fray. I'm using the Wild here, and we're going to use that to play Into the Fray. So Into the Fray says, attack, deal 6 damage to a minion. Point of excess damage dealt to that minion. Remove 1 threat from the main scheme.
Okay, so you're going to target this guy?
Yep.
Okay.
And so I'm dealing 6.
So remove 4 threat.
4.
Yep. And trigger your Murdered You thing, so you draw an extra card.
Draw an extra card. And then I can put a battery pack into play, or I can put my booster, which probably, let's get these booster boots. The battery pack gives me more charges, but I don't think that's a big deal. Oh, it could be. I could start using this again. This helps me prevent damage. This prevents 1 damage. I'm just going to put this card in play. So I'm going to discard these boots. And I'm going to play this. New card. So I think it's just 1 for 2 counters. Action, exhaust battery pack. Remove a charge counter from this card to another tech upgrade. So I'm just going to exhaust it and remove 1 to here.
Sure.
And that's all she wrote.
All right. So then remove from the main
Milano, yeah.
or from that? Okay.
I think so, because there is 11 on here, and we're not getting rid of that anyways.
I mean, we are both hero, and both of the advances are in the discard pile.
Yeah, but
so
I don't know
if he has
deck
ways.
very well.
Yeah, I don't know if he has other ways to score.
Yeah, let's just we're gonna take off 3, add 2, right? So. Okay.
Huh?
There was 1 token here. And a 5.
Oh, okay.
So if I was going to take off 3,
yeah,
I'd put 2 tokens, which would be a 1.
Yep, that's fine.
Just did math.
Yep, you got it. All right, so ready?
Mm-hmm.
Five. Groot's hand. Hard to ignore. Fruition, which I desperately need. We are Groot. Fertile ground. And hard to ignore again.
Yeah. I just think his starting deck seems really bad.
Yeah.
I think you have to be playing him with...
I feel like he almost wants leadership.
Yeah, more allies.
Yeah.
Or defense is fine, just playing more allies.
Yeah, because he can't use any of his upgrades because I've never had enough growth counters to use them.
Yeah.
So
I just got another battery pack. I've got Chase Them Down. I've got a particle cannon. And then I've got Groot. And I got energy. So my hand's not great either. All right.
Brett.
Right. I actually think I shorted myself a card last turn. I don't think I drew 6 when I flipped. That's okay. Threat. So it's 4. Yikes.
Okay. And charge counter, which is going to be 4. So it's 2 indirect.
I don't have any allies, but it's going to kill your... You could use it to kill your ally and just throw it. And then he just goes back to your hand.
I guess that's true.
I think that's fine.
Okay. Because it would be exactly 2, so then he goes back to my hand. All right. Then he's attacking me.
Yep.
Base 3. And I've got no effects. I don't have any charge counters right now.
Yep.
So I kind of wonder...
What does the 1 cost event do? Event you have?
None of these. They're upgrades.
Oh, they're upgrades.
Yeah, they after you defend and take no damage, you support for 1. Yeah. Remove 1 from the main. So they're... Yeah, I guess the question is whether or not... I feel like maybe when you have no growth counters, maybe you just want to take some damage and flip to heal and then accumulate some more.
I agree. I just say take it.
So I think I just take this.
Yeah,
and space
only
3.
Defend if you're gonna die.
Right. I think when you have no growth counters, I think that's the plan.
I agree.
So 5 damage.
Yes. Okay.
And then you.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm just... Yes, I'm
I mean, I guess I could defend for you. It just means I'm not healing next turn.
Great question. You might have to defend for me. I'm at 6. If I face roll it, I could die. Yeah. If I defend, I would be at 1, but then we would both be crippled.
Yes.
I've got my only ally in my hand that I can't play because it's Groot. So I think they.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
I think you have to defend.
Yeah, I think I can. I'll defend for you.
Yeah.
So base 3, defense 3.
Yeah, and just take 1.
Put this guy into play.
Okay.
But I already skipped my thing, so he's not a thing. All right, so you're done. So that cards. Dune Lieutenant Patrol.
Can't thwart.
So that's it. I don't.
You're not thwarting, so that's not too big.
It's not a big deal.
I've got, after Drang engages you, if there are no other minions engaged with you, deal yourself a face-down encounter card. So he comes in play and deals me an encounter card.
Oh, I had the same guy. So does that mean I need another one? Oh, and actually this is a hazard, so I need an extra from the hazard. Because I just did he got put into play with me from the boost. So he gets put into play, engaged with you. After he engages you. So I guess.
Yeah. Force response after he engages you.
So I guess he does?
Yep.
So then I need even another one?
Yep.
Oh man, get wrecked.
Yeah, finish your cards.
Okay, so another sentry. 1.
Okay.
I might have missed that from the last one. And it's a dude with health 7. Okay. Yeah.
And I've got another. I got a side scheme, which is going to give the boost icon.
Icon, yeah.
And it's 6 threat.
Okay.
We are getting destroyed. This is standard mode.
Yeah.
I think it's. I almost don't think we can do a full campaign with base starter decks. We're gonna probably have to start over, like.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing standards, so we could change our decks as we went anyway.
But these decks are, these are really bad. We're gonna have to change the decks.
Yeah,
because these decks are awful.
Yes, they seem quite horrible.
At least for this campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's that. Pass.
Pass and get wrecked.
Okay. So the good news is I could.
So I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, and target me.
Target you and deal 2 damage to
the villain
and each minion engaged.
Yeah, so 2 kills this guy. Then 2. Honestly, I feel like we just have to race him at this point.
Yeah, we could probably just race him down, honestly, and just like try to ignore all this stuff and just try to kill him.
I mean, if you happen to do area damage, great.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like we just need to.
If we want to win this game, I think that's the only way.
Yeah, I think we just have to race
anything?
him. Yeah, you killed one thing.
So I could just throw a chase him down.
Or does it even matter? I mean, maybe just from the main because I'm probably gonna flip. I guess I don't have to.
I mean, we could probably just kill him this turn.
If we can kill him, that's great. I don't have a way of readying.
I don't know if I could do 14 though. That's quite a bit.
That's quite a bit. So maybe just the main.
Yeah, I'll chase down the main.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Threat. And then I guess so I guess I just exhaust this to remove another counter here. And then I think what I'm gonna do is attack this guy with a basic attack. Or no, I've got cards to play. So let's discard energy and let's discard Groot because can't use them to play a particle cannon, but it's also restricted. So maybe... Alright, I'm actually not going to remove the counter here. I'm just going to play this particle cannon and replace this rocket launcher. These restricted items make him really tough.
Yeah.
2 charge counters.
Camera really quick. Okay.
Alright. And so this card says that...
so I actually think I don't have to flip. I think I can suck it up because
you might need to, but
I'm going to give us both tough statuses.
Yeah.
So I think
exhaust
I can deal.
particle cannon, remove 1 counter from it. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. This attack gains overkill and range. Do any of those guys have retaliate?
He does.
So let's
he has 3 health left.
Perfect. Let's hit this guy. So overkill and range. So it will...
How much damage is it?
4.
Okay, so you'll overkill 1.
Yep. So which means I can murder him.
Yep.
Draw a card. And then I can attack. Use my hand cannon here. And this is going to give me +2. This gives me +1. So 3, 4 damage. Hit this guy for 2.
And
So
X and do overkill?
Did you do the overkill on the boss? Yeah, an overkill.
So overkill 2?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will draw a card for murder.
Yep.
And don't have another way to attack anything. So then I think I just ditch both of these cards to play follow through, which is just an upgrade that I can't use right now, but could be useful in the future.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the Milano to free just to keep us alive.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Okay.
I didn't even do that much damage to the boss.
No. So I'm gonna discard the 2 hard to ignores to play Starhawk.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Fruition, which is gonna give me 2 growth counters. Which honestly, I'm just gonna tap Deft Focus to play my superpower We Are Groot to remove them to give us each a tough status.
Okay.
And then I still just have a 1 resource that support, but it's an alter ego action thing. So that said,
I think you still. The problem is, I think you still have to flip because you have 3 attacking you.
2.
You have 3 health.
I have 2.
3 damage versus 3 health.
Yeah.
And you can't kill any of them.
But I have this guy that could block for me. This guy's villainous, so he'll flip a card.
Okay.
So
right.
I could have him attack and deal 2 to something. Maybe just the boss.
Yeah.
And then have him absorb an attack.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And then I can be tough and defend.
Yeah.
So like that mitigates a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
So I think I just have him attack for 2 and attack the boss because I think we want to push as much damage through as possible. Have him be at 9. Ready?
Draw. Problem is, I'm getting an encounter card.
I don't really want this fertile ground because it's alter ego. Rather have a shot at more defense cards. Got my team up. Dauntless. Rocket, which is dead. Hard to ignore. And Indomitable. So I got no defensive cards. Worth a shot, though.
An encounter card.
Okay. Okay. All right. So first thing is threat. So we're dropping 4 on there.
Yep.
Yep. All right. And he is attacking you first. Tough.
Yeah, and Yeah, that's all.
So I don't think you really care.
Yep.
Okay. So it would be 6 damage, but you're tough.
Yeah.
Then he is attacking me, and I'm going to let that go through with the tough. Boost. If this activation is an attack, it gets +2 boost icons, so which it was. Fine, it's all irrelevant. Then these minions are going to attack me. So this one attacks for 2, which I will just let go through, I think, and then have Starhawk defend this one.
And just be at 1.
And be at 1. Ugh. And
YOLO?
YOLO? Because if he attacks, that's worse. Yeah. So I'll just let this attack go through and be at 1. And then when the Badoon Headhunter attacks, I'm going to have Starhawk intercept it.
I also forgot about this.
Oh, fair. Yes, you. He has a Villainous, so he's going to flip a card, which is just a regular old boost. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 damage, which is in excess of what Starhawk's health is. So he's actually just going to go to my discard pile now. And what's up, ABQ? Nice to see you.
He's raiding with a party of 3 raiders. What does that mean?
He's like pulling people from his channel and bringing them to ours as a raid group.
Interesting.
It's a Twitch thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that's that. So bad cards, and we're out now. So acceleration. Actually, you need 2 because of the hazard.
Yep.
So you had 1, you had 2 because you ducked yourself, so you'll need 3 total.
Yep.
Where I get 1. I feel you, ABQ. We always used to go to the store on Fridays and play games too.
Yeah, but Friday night was always game night.
Yep.
And Wednesday night.
Wednesday night for us was always our role-playing group. Which COVID murdered hard, so.
COVID was so inconsiderate to our role-playing
so
game
rude.
group.
We were so good. We were playing for like 2.5 years, almost every Wednesday.
Years. Actually, almost 4 years.
Was it that long? Yeah. Oh my gosh, crazy.
Well, it was like 3 years, and then this year would have been the 4th.
Right, but it was, it was #COVID. Okay, so here is your hazard card, and then my 1 card.
Okay, so first one is Gang Up.
Okay.
So he's going to attack me.
Yep.
And he's going to attack me with base 3 plus the boost, which is the boost is going to be +1.
Yep.
So that can kill me.
It can.
If I don't defend, so I have to defend.
Yeah. What it is.
But then if I defend, we surely can't kill him next turn because I can't attack. So YOLO.
Okay. So base 3. Boost is if it's an attack, it gets +2 boost icons.
Okay.
So it's 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm dead. We lost.
Dang it!
There was no other way to win because we needed to kill him next.
Yeah.
Time.
We're so behind.
Yep.
Just with minions, we're behind.
The next card I would have had was a Rogue Vessel. Surge. Here, I'll just put it on the card. You can read it.
Surge and interrupt when the villain phase ends, deal a damage to each player. Oh, that would have killed me anyway.
Yeah.
And then as a first player action, exhaust the amount of expended resources event. That card. That's another environment.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that would have come into play and killed me because I'm at 1.
Yep.
So that's that. And then what was your last one?
Advance.
Oh, okay. So we probably would have lost the main.
11. No.
I mean, schemes for 2.
Right.
+2 +1. So we would have lost. That's 5. It would have been exactly at 16. We would have lost the first main.
Yeah, but
and my card was your obligation. So get wrecked.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. So I mean, we got a little. Maybe we got a little greedy there, just trying to race him and not flipping. But I don't. We were at a point where if we didn't just race him, we were getting too far behind.
So I think because the pre-built decks literally only have 1 ally per deck.
Yeah, that's a problem.
If you are trying to play at least the first scenario, with the standard pre-built decks, I think what you need to do is just race him.
I think so
you
too.
need to
He
just...
has low enough health threshold that I think you can brace him.
Yeah.
Which we weren't really doing that initially because
we've
never played him.
Yeah, and we just assumed the decks were normal. But
yes.
with no allies to defend,
Groot had to defend almost every turn to try and preserve his growth tokens.
And you couldn't even do it.
And I couldn't even do it. Yeah. And I didn't use any of my upgrades once.
Yep.
I guess that's not true. I used the defensive one time. So Groot didn't get to do Groot things really.
And
which
I have
is
one
sad.
defense.
Yeah.
At most, if I would have got one copy of the rocket boots, I just prevent 1 damage by milling a card.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
I can mitigate
still horrible.
1 damage.
Yeah, still pretty bad.
Yeah.
This whole Milano, like, exhausting as a resource or exhausting to remove threat is interesting. I think that's actually nice. And especially since a lot of the side schemes allow you to do that as well.
You can't even do this without that.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Because there's actually quite a bit of threat that gets put on these things with the hinder. Because they all do 3 per person, which ironically enough, this just removes 3. So that just helps you with getting rid of some of these things. But yeah, I mean, these pre-bolts definitely need work.
I feel like you could probably play Rocket and Groot together.
Yeah, I think next week we might go back to that, like, strongest decks article.
I don't know.
We might just also do the campaign.
Yeah, I think we might
retweak these decks. Normally, when there's new release content, we just play the decks straight out of the packs, which is just exactly what we did, just to try them out, see what the new cards are, and see kind of what the heroes are trying to do. And then going forward, we'll modify the decks and swap aspects and all that good stuff. So I think we'll probably go back and do this campaign part again, just adjusting these decks. And see how we go. But yeah, I think this guy especially, I think you just kind of have to race because he can overwhelm you with stuff. And it feels like Groot, like a lot of the, like this Dauntless card is essentially useless because he's almost never health. Same thing with, what is it? One of the other cards in here, like
the Drang card.
Yeah, the fighting fit, like
2 to deal 5.
2 to deal 5 if you're at max pay points, which 3 copies of that card in this deck is.
Yeah, Groot needs help from.
He either needs healing
aspect help.
Yeah, if he either needs like med teams in here to keep him at full health, or he needs way more allies because
I think he needs more defense cards.
He needs more defense, like react to, like, yes, I agree with you, because then he can mitigate some additional damage. But he also just needs allies. Like you said, there's the Rocket and Groot ally, and then we each had 1 additional ally. Like, having literally 1 ally that you can play in your whole deck, it's just really bad for like damage mitigation. It's horrible.
I've never played a deck in this game, even when we first started playing the game, with 1 ally.
Correct. 100%. Never would we ever have done that.
Yeah.
So these decks definitely just need a little bit of work, but I think we'll have a lot of fun with these guys once we kind of
I totally agree.
Get them tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they're fun. I think Groot is going to be a character that kind of like sings in like 3 to 4 player games.
Yeah.
Where he can like kind of like he can kind of just like be the de facto tank and like consume hits, and he'll be able to build up his growth counters because you won't be as much pressure with a group of people.
Yeah.
You could have, take turns like stunning things and doing things.
Yeah, that's true.
2-player, I don't know, but he might be good in 2-player. You just gotta.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
I think you gotta build a deck with him that utilizes. You gotta build a deck with him that maximizes his ability to not take damage.
Right.
You want him just to not take damage so he can build up counters and then spend them and then build them up and spend them.
Yeah.
That deck does not allow you to do
Yeah,
that.
I had a very hard time.
He's very deck dependent. If his he seems very dependent on the type of deck. He kind of reminds me of Thor in a little bit, where like Thor is only really amazing if you're playing him in an aggression deck or like a justice deck. Otherwise, he's meh.
Yeah.
Thor Justice can be pretty good, but Thor Aggression is clearly the best.
100%, yeah.
But if you're playing Thor in single player, you really need almost Justice deck.
All right, well, that was our new release content for this stuff. Yeah, J-Con's a Groot Aggression might be interesting, although Rocket Aggression definitely seems to be where it's at. So yeah, I don't know if you want to do...
I think you could totally play Groot Aggression. You just have to make sure that you're controlling the... you're playing enough aggression cards that, mitigate him being attacked.
Yeah. And if you play solo, obviously that certainly be a thing.
Solo's a totally different animal.
I don't know if Groot can play solo mode, but...
I think every hero can play solo, even like Hulk. Obviously some heroes are worse than others.
Yeah.
But I know that you could play a Justice Hulk deck. Just give yourself enough boarding capacity that Hulk can be playable.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see.
Almost leadership is so good you can play almost any ally with leadership.
That's true.
So, yeah. Or any hero with leadership. But yeah, so far this was fun. We wouldn't even have earned one unit. We would have earned 1 unit in that game because we got rid of one card.
Because we got rid of just one victory. I think maybe you get them for winning, or there's different
I feel
ways.
like there's other cards you defeat in the deck that might earn you units.
Yeah, one of those allies or one of those minions I had, it was
one of the things that they've kind of made you do is it's almost like Gloomhaven going to try and pick up all the gold.
Yes.
They're trying to make you drag out the game for the greed of getting the units.
Yes.
But then by dragging out the game, you risk losing the game.
Right.
It's that whole Gloomhaven, which is going to be horrible for our group of greed players.
Oh my gosh, our player group is so greedy.
Yeah. Once we get Star-Lord, our group's going to be in a moment of losing.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, Marvel Friday next week. Until then.